Let me unmute this mic. Hello, my sister. It's just me and you. We could chat it up for a little bit. But let me go ahead and do the introduction in case somebody's catching this on the replay. Hello, hello, hello. I hated the way these glasses glare. Hello, my name is Sandra, and welcome to my channel From Lack to Legacy. Oh, I got it. Okay, let me get rid of that. Okay, I'm back. Welcome to my channel From Lack to Legacy. On this channel, we're all things money, investing, mindset, abundance, all that good stuff. And tonight we're going to be talking about the same stuff. How can we save money and live well? That's basically what this thing is all about. You all know I just left Bali. I think it's been a week. I think I've been in Thailand. I'm in Chiang Mai. Chiang Mai made me rethink some things in my life, y'all. I'm here to tell you, I loved Bali. Y'all saw me loving Bali. You saw Bali loving on me. Ooh, but Chiang Mai. Ooh, hey, Ailey. Hey, Natasha. Hey, Brenda. It's morning for y'all. Do y'all know it's 9 o'clock at night for me? I'm sleepy as heck. To show you, well, I got my water, but it's 9 o'clock. I've been out all day. It's going down. It's going down. It's going down. So this should be really, really interesting. I'm sleepy and I got a bottle of red wine. It's going down. I don't know what to tell y'all. Get y'all some coffee. Spike your coffee. Put some in your coffee, ladies. Join me because I'm going to try to give you all as much information as I possibly can because Bali was a blast. I had a great time in Bali. Y'all saw it. I left no stone unturned. I just didn't do a lot of touristy stuff. But in terms of staying all over the whole doggone island, I stayed all over the island, y'all. I stayed in every level of accommodation one could imagine. From the $23 a night, I put those in the chat too. I put all the places that I stayed, the ones I could remember. I think I got them all. I dropped them in the chat. So scroll back up to the beginning if you want to. Well, I didn't link them. I don't know if you could put a link, but I did list them and what they rented for a night on average. You can look them up on Booking. I booked most of those places through booking.com. And by doing so, by kind of bouncing around from place to place, I stayed in homestays. I stayed in one hotel chain. I did all of them. I did it all. The least expensive one was like $23 a night. And I told y'all about that one in the previous video, but I will reiterate this. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna sleep good. Oh, you wait. Oh, you wait. We're gonna be halfway into this live and y'all gonna be like, yep, she gone. Hey, Kathy. Hey. So yes, I'm gonna give you all the lowdown on everywhere I stayed. And because I was able to kind of move around, I was able to network with a lot of people, find out how much do things cost on average. And I'm telling you, Bali is very, very, very affordable. We all know that. You all know that. Southeast Asia as a whole, when we're talking about comparing it to anywhere in the US, is going to be way more affordable on just about every level. The only thing that kind of I think might be a little sticky if you're trying to retire in Bali might be the health insurance thing. But other than that, everything else is a go. It's a green light. And definitely if you are trying to take a sabbatical, listen, I don't know if you were like me, but I needed a break. I needed a break from my break. I needed a break from myself. I had been in Chicago before I went to Bali. I left for Bali on Mother's Day. And I had been in Chicago for a whole month. Do you all know it rained, it snowed, sleet, hail? I had a car accident. Everything went down in that 30 days. And by the time yes, Marilyn, y'all, it's morning for you all. I suggest that y'all pop something in your coffee. This is 9:30 at night. It's 9 o'clock at night for me. And it's been a long day. So I will be a sipping. So around 10 o'clock, if my eyes get real, real low, you all will know what the deal is. Y'all like, yep, go to bed, sis. But I'm going to try to get it all in before I get too sleepy. So because I was able to stay all over the place, I'm telling you, I met some great people. Check out that other video, traveling I did. Do you need new friends? Yes, you need new friends. That's how I got so much information. I never even thought about purchasing any land in Bali. To one of the guys I was staying with, he pointed out a place. He was like, you could buy that. I was like, excuse me? You could buy this? Land in the mountains that overlook the sea. Now, the only thing about, and I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, about purchasing land in Bali is I don't think, and I'm pretty sure this is the case, but anything that I say to you, y'all do your own Google research. Do your own research. But this is just what I gathered from the time I was there, that you don't really outright own the land. I don't think any foreigners can actually own land in Bali, but what you do is you lease it for, I think it's 30 years, and then you can renew the lease for another 20 years. So it's in essence like you're purchasing. You certainly, whatever you build on that, you own. It's just that I think you have to be in partnership with somebody, a Balinese person, and it's like they actually hold the lease or something like that. Check it all out. Because nobody's going to be like just going out buying some land in Bali, Cassandra said, without an attorney. You're definitely going to need an attorney if you're considering it. But so let me back up a little. I had a ball in Bali. I think Bali is good for anyone who wants to get away. What they do well is rest. They rejuvenate. There's every yoga retreat. There's a retreat on every corner in Bali. So if you need to detox your body, your mind, your spirit, Bali's the place to do it. Nobody does it like them. If you are looking for Zen, if you are looking for Wu-Sa time, that's the place to look. And I'm telling you, they've got mountains, they've got, all the green rice terraces, you can find beaches, cities, it's all there. So that was a plus for me. I got a chance to see what it was like in the city. I got a chance to get to the coast and to the countryside. It was all very beautiful. The only thing that I would say is that you may have to manage your US expectations because we've talked about this. I think the US, hands down, you can't beat it in terms of standard of living. 24-hour stores, convenience, everything's convenient, everything's fast, everything's plumb and straight, everything, infrastructure is in place. And while you may swap some of that stuff out in like a tropical island paradise like Ubud, but what you gain is a whole new level of wellness. And I'm talking about spiritual wellness, mental wellness, physical wellness, you guys. Even though I didn't do the right thing while I was there are plenty of healthy food choices. We talked about it's like the retreat capital of the world. So there's always something healthy going on in terms of your physical health. The food choices, there are plenty of healthy food choices that are reasonably priced. You could practically, if you were on sabbatical, and I'm gonna really talk about just two scenarios. Is it a great place to sabbatical for a month, two, three? The answer is hands down yes. Is it a great place to retire? And I would say for some of the challenges that I found that you might find trying to retire there is that if you have any business to do in the US, that time change is a doozy. It took me a very long time to get acclimated to the change because it is literally night and day. It literally is that. And so that took some getting used to the time change, the time zones, and also the internet. If you're conducting business, not every place in Ubud, not every place in Bali, it is an island, is equipped with high speed, internet like you would expect in the US. Hey, Sade. Hey, everybody. I'm so glad y'all are here. So yeah, sabbatical, hands down, 10 out of 10, I recommend. Especially if you're coming off of any kind of trauma, whether it's workplace trauma or just trauma in your life, undealt with childhood trauma, anything that's troubling you. I promise you, they made that movie Eat, Pray, Love. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Would I go back? I absolutely would. I got the best rest. When I tell y'all, I got the best rest in Bali. And particularly that last place I stayed at, the beach in Ahmed, best rest. Ooh, those people know what they're doing, you all. Um, Again, they're all manner of, let's say, accommodations. They're all levels. They're all kinds of, they're cities. They're big cities, small cities, coastal towns, beach towns, very small rural areas. Hey, that, hey, that. So yeah, if you're looking for a place to take a sabbatical and you like tropical weather, and if you don't have a problem with being on the other side of the world, if you truly are going on a sabbatical and you're not worried about working, Bali, for me, I don't know, y'all. Y'all know I've been to, I did Mexico. I did all of Mexico. I did the mountains. I did the beach towns. And I would pick Bali over Mexico. I'm sorry for a sabbatical. I've been to both. But we still haven't talked about Shanghai, y'all, because Shanghai threw a monkey wrench in the whole doggone thing. I just got here, but I love it. So there, that's a whole nother video. But if you're thinking about going on a sabbatical, I would certainly say give Bali a serious look. The hardest part, again, would be the time frame. If you're trying to conduct any business, you all saw me struggle with the internet. And the other thing, what was it I was going to say? Hmm. Yeah, that time change is a killer. The internet, and I guess that's really just about it. Everything else, oh, the flight. That flight over. I will just say this to anybody who's coming to Southeast Asia, period, but particularly if you're going on sabbatical, and sabbaticals could be from a month to a year. You want to be cognizant of that's a very long flight. I would break down that flight. I did it, and I would have an even longer layover. I had a very long, hey Latoya, I had a very long layover in Doha. It was 36 hours, just under 48 hours. I would take a 3 day. If you could swing a 3 day layover, I would do a 3 day layover. Have some fun in Doha because you're going to need to rest up. I think the first leg of the journey was 13 hours. The second leg might have been 8 hours, but it takes a toll on you. And then there's the jet lag that sets in. So we're talking about taking a sabbatical. 10 out of 10 recommend. It is the place to go for rest, relaxation, rejuvenation, health, healing, massages, all that wonderful stuff. Yes, Bali over Mexico. I promise you. I promise. The only thing is, Mexico's got all those positives too. It's close, it's easy to matriculate. It's not as much culture shock. Not that there was a lot of culture shock for me in Bali, but man, the prices. Here's the real news, you all. Everybody talks about how much more reasonable Mexico is, and Mexico is reasonable when you talk about comparing it to the US. But Bali, hands down, you can live a good life. You could live a good life in Bali. I never spent more than $25. Never. That was hard to do. Y'all, the truth is, I never spent more than $20 on a meal. I need to drop my favorite restaurants in there too. I can just tell you this. One of them is called Cora, Chora. Y'all, I'm talking about top quality. We would have, I would have paid no less than $75, no less than $70, I'll say, with drinks for that place. Beautiful, just ambiance out the just well done, the service impeccable. If you get to Ubud, go to Quora. I'll try to link it somewhere. I don't think I can put anything else in that description box. Y'all check the description box under this video. I put in as much information as I could, and then I dropped all the places that I stayed in the chat. So if you scroll back up to the top of the chat, you'll see all the places I stayed and how much they were a night. The least expensive was $23 a night. The most expensive was $400 a night. And I would still stay in the $23. I told you the one that I wouldn't stay in again. And that was the one that was at Pondoc Bamboo. It was the one that was like a hut. I didn't like it. I didn't care any. I don't like those. The thatched roof and the thatching on the walls. They're not sealed out. Bugs. That description box is loaded up. I think I can't put another letter in that description box. So I hope that information helps you guys. So we're talking about the cost of living in Bali. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with the site Numbeo, but if you go on to Numbeo, it's Numbo. Numbeo lists out like the average price of housing, transportation, food, and I put that stuff down in the description box too. So you all can take your time, go over it, and you can actually see. But when I tell you, meals were very inexpensive. In terms of transportation, they have ride share, but it's called Grab, and I think one might be GoJet, but Grab for sure. I never paid more than $5. I don't care where I went. There was no place in Ubud that I had to get to that cost me more than $5. For the most part, I walked everywhere. Each one of those locations, except for that private villa, allowed me to walk. So Ubud was very walkable. So if you're thinking about a sabbatical place, food is inexpensive, lodging is inexpensive. You could certainly sabbatical there for $1,500 a month. Easy, 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 easy. It depends on what you want though in terms of accommodations. Because of course, if you're doing the $400 a night accommodations, that's gonna put you over budget. But the ones that were 50, even the ones that were like $34, they were nice. They all came with breakfast, which, for me, that took care of one of those meals. And it was a decent breakfast. The breakfast is all kind of the same. There are all kinds of eggs, omelets, whatever. Some serve meat, all have fruit, juice, coffee, endless supply of water. They're really good about that. Um, I'm telling you, consider it. Now, on the retirement side, I think it gets a little trickier. Could you do it for 1,500? Yes, but I would say comfortably $2,000. If you had $2,000 a month for retirement, anywhere between 15 and $2,000 a month. Oh my goodness, you in there like swimwear. When I tell you I had a great time, the largest part of your budget, of course, would be housing. Um, you could secure lodging for under $900 easy. And I'm talking about a nice villa. It would probably be a homestay. That's one way I found to cut your cost is to do a homestay. And the homestays are nice. You all don't let that term throw you. A homestay is simply where the family, it's a compound, and they have several buildings on that compound. They're all individual structures. So the family has a home on that land. The grandmother has a home on that land. And then they build out four, five, six, however many they deem or they can afford. And they're fully independent structures that you can rent out. I think there was only two places that I stayed that did not have a pool. Pools are very common. Of course, they include breakfast. Who doesn't? And cleaning, y'all, they clean. It's incredible. It's an incredible way to live. I was there for 2 months. Cardi B ain't got nothing on me, baby. I don't cook, I don't clean, I don't do any of that. I did none of that. So they bring you breakfast. You all, some of y'all saw it. They bring it right to your terrace. I'm trying to think. Was there anyone? There wasn't one accommodation that I stayed in that didn't have a terrace. That's very common, an outdoor space. So I certainly think in terms of your sabbatical, please consider Bali. And the three drawbacks would be the flight is hecka long. It's a long flight. But I would take that and turn that into a little mini stop. Wherever you have a layover, make it a 3 day layover so that you can give your body time to just recover. Because that 13 hour, that first leg of that flight, because I was coming from Chicago. So I can't imagine any place in the US, the flight being under 11 hours, even if you're leaving from California, because you'd be coming the other way. I don't know. It's a long flight. So, yeah, it's a homestay through booking.com. You all consider it. I never would have done that because I'm really private. Everybody knows I'm an introvert. I will talk to you once I warm up, but I'm not all about that. I don't want to sit around and have community dinner every night. Oh, please. Oh, I'd rather not. I'd rather read a book or have dinner with, honestly, I like my own company. I'm great company at dinner. So, but it isn't, you can be with them as much as you want or as little as you want. I found that they really followed my lead. All of the families were, how many homestays did I stay? I stayed at one, two, three. I stayed at three homestays where the families actually lived on the place. They lived there and then they rented out the other ones. And everyone was very considerate. The breakfasts were delicious. They were always helpful. Another positive to being on a homestay is they really take care of you. They want to make sure that you're okay. I didn't get sick, but one of the other guests got sick. And when I tell you they took care of them, I was like, okay, I can see the benefit now. I felt very secure. No, I stayed at four homestays. I want to say Sukun, when I went to Ahmed, that was the beach town, the very last one. I'm not quite sure that's a homestay because the family didn't live exactly on that land. They lived on the other side, but literally they were there every day. And that was the family that adopted me. So I'm telling you all, for sabbatical, please consider it. Let's talk about in terms of feasibility for retirement. Could I see myself retiring in Bali? I would say this, maybe not 12 months out of the year because Bali does have a rainy season. And as I was leaving, I think we're coming into rainy season. I was able to dodge all the rain. I don't know. God is good all the time. All the time, God is good. I didn't miss out on one day of activities because of rain. I think I posted a short. I was sitting by the pool in the rain, y'all, because it was so warm. It's just, it's even when it's raining, it's so pleasant. It is, it was just divine. That's all. I don't have enough good things to say about Bali. But I will, just in all fairness, say that trying to retire there might be a little trickier. And the thing that might trip you up is that they do not have health care for expats. You have to come with your own health care in place. And if you have Medicare or something like that, if you're up in age and you're retired, I'm not sure that that is going to cover you in Bali. So what most people do is they secure travel insurance, and there are a couple companies. If you're really interested, hit me up because there are two companies, and I don't want to. I'm nobody gives me a dime for anything. Just through my research, and I've used one of them before for my travel insurance. but you can cover yourself that way. See, that's different. In Mexico, once you become a resident, you can get the health care there. So that's something that you would want to consider. Definitely if you're talking about retiring. But there are workarounds for that. And I hear that there's something in the works. Maybe sometime down the line, they will offer health care to expats. But as of now, they do not. Yes. Okay. Um, Let me talk about banking and the currency. So the money is rupiahs, it's Indonesian rupiah. And when you first get your rupiahs, you're going to think you're rich because they come, I want to say the smallest paper denomination that I handled was $50,000. It was a $50,000 bill, a 50,000 bill. I don't even know how to say that. But that 50,000, I might even have some, I still do, is worth $3. And so let me see, a typical meal for me would be maybe 100 rupees, which is like $6. My full dinner at my favorite place, my fancy restaurant where they call you by your name, they would call me Miss Sandra, and they pull out the chair and they do the napkin. I promise you, I never paid more than $20. And I would always get like the sea bass or the snapper, lots of good seafood. I'm talking about gourmet, y'all. I'm talking about where they do the little drizzle on the plate and you get a little bit of potatoes. You know that meal. A delicious Greek salad, maybe $3 or $4 for healthy meals, juice, fresh juice, all of that stuff, very reasonably priced. The way that I was able to get money is really simple. I don't use money changers anywhere. I just don't trust it. I don't know. Call me crazy. I always use the ATM. In Mexico, I use the ATM. You use your American ATM card. You get out in Mexico, you get pesos. When you go to Bali, you use your ATM card just like you would do. And if you're smart and you got the ATM cards that Stephanie and Rashida and Adelia told you to get, like Fidelity, I think Capital One has one, Schwab, where they reimburse you for those fees. I have, I use Fidelity. So I never incurred a fee. I want to say, I'm not sure if the ATM charges you a fee separately. At any rate, it wasn't a problem. Take your ATM card, go to the machine. I always use the same one. I always use ones that are attached to the bank. And Kathy, I'm so glad you brought that up because guess what? Today, y'all, I've been away from the States. What is this? July, August, September, November. Just shy of 2 years. My ATM card has never, nothing's ever happened to it. I've never lost it. It's never been eaten by a machine. And guess what happened today? In beautiful Chiang Mai, ate my doggone ATM card, almost passed out. Was like, not the good card. Because I carry, you should always carry multiple cards, multiple forms, ways to get money. I would say two. I would say three, certainly no less than two. But because I've been listening to all my travel sisters, I happened to use an ATM that was right outside the bank. I did the whole Macaulay Culkin thing. I was like, oh God, oh no, oh no. The security guard, came over and assured me, ma'am, do not worry. He told me, come back tomorrow at 3. Somebody will open it. I did the whole slap your face. I was like, oh no, sir. Oh God. Oh no. I did the whole grandmama is in distress. And so a younger guy came out of the bank and I promise you, he said, don't worry. Where's your passport? I didn't have my passport. I just had a picture. You all keep a picture of your passport. These are things you all know. You've heard them 1,000 times. But keep a picture on your phone. Also keep hard copies. I have photocopies of all of my travel documents. So although in today he needed to actually see my passport, it was a $2 Uber ride back, jet or grab. I took a $2 grab, ran back to my place, grabbed my passport, ran back. The grab guy waited for me, took me back. They opened up the machine and gave me my ATM card. So let me just reiterate. I promise y'all, do this. I haven't had trouble getting money anywhere, not Mexico, not Shanghai, not Bali. I've always used my ATM card, stick it in, and it spits out currency for that location. You're never going to get US dollars. That would be like putting your Mexican ATM card in a US ATM and think you're going to get pesos. You're not. Wherever you are, that's the denomination of money you're going to get out of that ATM. So in Bali, you'll get rupiahs. Here I am in Chiang Mai. I don't know what the heck it's called. That's a good question. At any rate, well, that's a whole nother video in itself. Yes, keep copies on your phone. Keep copies of all of your travel documents locked away. I have a lock on my suitcase, but generally, most places you stay, there is a safe. Every place, just about that I've been, has a safe. You can change the code, use the safe. I don't carry. Mexico was the only place that I carried my passport around. Most other places, I don't carry it around. Also, if you're banking, I know that this is true for Mexico, and I want to say that it's true for Chiang Mai. Usually, at some point in the transaction, they ask you if, and it's true in Bali as well, they ask you if you want to use their bank's conversion. I never do that. My bank always gives me a better conversion rate than their banks will give you. So just check that out for yourself. Check it out, ask somebody, they'll be able to tell you, or you can do a transaction and see what the rate is. But I always decline the conversion rate. I go with whatever the rate is my bank is offering. um, Always use an ATM that is attached to a bank. And I prefer to do it when the bank is open. I would have been in I would have been in a terrible state of mind had that card gotten eaten and I had to leave it in there overnight. I don't like any of that crazy. So that would be my advice. So, yes, Kathy, the currency in Bali is rupiahs. It's the if 50,000 is $3, let me see what one rupiah is. I got my converter. Download a currency converter onto your phone. Save yourself a whole lot of trouble. So let me see. I'm gonna flip this. $1 equals 15,000 rupiahs. I'm telling you, you're gonna feel rich. When that money hit that belt, first of all, another tip too, you guys, I promise you, get money before you leave your home country. So before I left the States, I got pesos, I got money for, I got rupiahs, and I got Thai baht. So I had three different currencies. And then I had some US money as well. Because if all else fails, I'm telling you, you can exchange good old fashioned US sawbucks, baby, anywhere in the world. Just I have never been any place where I wasn't able to find a money changer. I just don't use them because I don't trust all the behind the scenes. I know what's happening with that ATM. I know what I'm asking for. I have a record. I just I used a money changer in Spain. I still don't feel good about that transaction. That was 3 years ago. I still don't trust them. I don't know. I didn't know any better. If I had known then what I know now, I would have just gotten euros. And I think I did get some. I may have run out. But I would say to anybody who's traveling abroad, go to your bank, sit down maybe a week or two ahead of time, figure out, what that currency conversion is. Have a This is me, a couple $100. Depends on how long you're going to be there. Me, seriously, I want $300 in that currency because number one, I'll tell you all why too. I am learning not to be so quick to slap your debit card down because my debit card was charged, double charged. It happens. in Bali, in Ahmed in particular, by the same restaurant twice. So on two different days, they double charged me. And so you don't have that problem when you're paying in cash. Another thing, even though most times in Southeast Asia, the tipping culture is different, you still want to tip something. And it's just easier to tip if you have cash. So I would say to anybody traveling, particularly to Bali, Thailand, even Mexico, y'all. If you want to lessen your risk of funny business with your debit card, just get the cash before you go. Put your debit card away, put your credit cards away. And this is the truth. My sister and I, another travel sister, we were in Talaki Paki. She says Talaki Paki, Talaki Paki, Talaki Paki. I'm not sure. It's on the outskirts of Guadalajara. And we had a great meal. Everybody paid, credit card, whatever, every different method. I had cash. Do you know they asked her for her credit card? They asked her for her driver's license, which I thought was a little. We didn't make it out of Talaki Paki before they had charged up her card. Her phone was dingy, 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 dingy. Charges in Las Vegas, charges here, charges all over the place. I don't know. I'm just saying it can happen. I now don't use my card like that. I go, I take it, I withdraw money from an ATM that is attached to a bank that is open with people I can see. I take out as much as I think I'm going to need because you don't want to pay a lot of fees. I'm sorry, I don't know how we got on this. Kathy, I want to beat it to death, but I want y'all to understand about the money part because you don't want that. You don't want to lose your debit card in a machine. You don't want somebody mishandling your debit card information and you racking up charges and you got to deal with the bank. You don't want any of that. So go with cash. Go with an amount that you feel comfortable with. I don't suggest that anybody start traveling with a stack of money like this, $5,000. That's not necessary. But you do want to have money as soon as you hit the ground for your taxi, ground transportation. You might get stuck in the airport and want something to eat. Tipping, people handling your bags. Y'all know me. I'm not pulling a bag. If it's somebody I can flag somebody down to drag this bag, please drag this bag, sir. And I want to take care of them. And having cash on hand alleviates a lot of headache. So, Kathy, I hope that answers your question. Your debit card and your credit card are accepted. I haven't had any trouble anywhere. The only thing is, the smaller the place, then when I was in Ahmed, that was the first time I ran into some people didn't have a machine. I literally ate dinner at one place and had to go across the street to the convenience store to pay with my debit card. I was like, it's okay. Hey, glass half full. So, yes, money isn't going to be a problem. Getting money out of the ATM isn't a problem. I haven't had a problem in any country I've been to with those particular, and I use Fidelity. Make sure that you have a card that reimburses you those ATM fees because trust me, it matters. I also bank with another major bank, US bank, and I get an international fee every time I swipe that card. And so I try not to use it, but I keep it as a backup. One last thing, always make sure you have, I would say, three forms of ways of getting money: debit card, credit card. You want to have certainly two, no less than two. You should, just in case something happens to one form of payment, you want to make sure that you got all that out the way and that you're covered. Okay, so we talked about, is Bali a great place to sabbatical? And I say yes, 10 out of 10. I absolutely wholly recommend. I think you can do it for under $1,500. I listed stays right here in the chat that were $30 a day. And I'm talking about Sandra approved, clean. I told you all the one was bamboo, Pondok bamboo. They have a I don't forgot what it's called, but you'll see it. Don't book it. I'm sorry, I said it. And they're nice people. Their other rooms are great. The modern ones with the, like white walls and well lit, those are beautiful. There's everybody has a pool. It's plenty of walking space. So, yeah, check those out. See if that, just consider it. If your sabbatical is centered around healing, rejuvenating, resting, if you like yoga, if you are a tree hugger, if you like yogurt, if you like granola, if you like all that healthy stuff, I'm telling you, Bali is health conscious, and the people are very kind. Then we flipped and talked about how about Bali in terms of long-term retirement. And I still think that you can retire there. The only caveat to that, the one thing that I saw that might be a little sticky is going to be if you're particularly, if you're a woman of a particular age like myself, health insurance. If you're younger, might not be a problem. But for someone 55, you're getting, 55 and above, you have to have your own health care. There are multiple kinds of visas that you can get in Bali. When you first arrive, you get just if you're just going there to sabbatical. Let's say if you want a sabbatical for 30 days, not a problem. You don't have to apply. You get what is called a visa on demand or visa on arrival. Visa on demand, visa on arrival. As soon as you get to the airport, you just follow the herd of people. They walk you through. You get a 30-day visa automatically. If you want to have a 60-day sabbatical, you want to be there for 2 months. I did that very simple extension, cost me about $50. The process is a little, I'm a skeptic. I'm from Chicago. Sorry, I'm still a little scarred. The whole process, a guy came to the villa. He took my passport out of my possession. Look, I took that man's picture. I told y'all this. I took a picture of his motorcycle, the whole nine. I don't think these people are out to scam you, but you can never be too careful. But the process is that you do have to relinquish your passport if you want to extend. There is a way, I do believe, before you go. I haven't heard anybody make it work, but they say that you can do it online. In all of the chats that I'm in, I don't know one Black person who's been able to get that visa approved online. And I say that really, I should say anybody from the US, because the only people that I knew, expats I knew were, Black in Bali. And so they were from the US. So most of us did our renewal the old fashioned way. We turned over our passport to the embassy or some worker or some rep. It was scary as heck because I don't know this man, but it was all on the up and up. A few days later, maybe a week or so later, you get your passport back. You can extend. It's very easy to get 60 days to stay in Bali for a sabbatical. After that, they have something called the B211 visa. That visa allows you to stay, I think, for a total of 6 months. So if you want a sabbatical for 6 months, there's a way to do that too. Um, you can go to the Facebook group Black in Bali, and they will link you to some resources. But it's the B211 visa, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure that's it. And the way it works is you get 2 months. Like I'm going to do that visa because I've exhausted my tourist visa for 2 months. So while I'm out of the country, I have to do it out of the country. I will apply for this B211. You get it for 2 months, and then you can renew it for 2 more months and 2 more months for a total of 6 months. Now, of course, y'all double check everything I'm telling you. I'm telling you where to go for the real resource. The real resources will be in that Facebook group, Black in Bali. They have a whole thread. They have a whole slew of people that they use. That's how I found the guy that I used to renew my visa. And so you can sabbatical there very easily. 30 days, 60 days, 6 months, no problem. Very cost effective. I think the visa on arrival was like $35 for the first 30 days. My renewal, and I wasn't paying attention to, I wasn't trying to shop around for the cheapest price because I'm sure it could be done cheaper. I think I paid like $57. So less than $100 for me to stay in Bali for 2 full months. The B211 visa, again, I can pretty much assure you that for the 6 months, it's under $300 with each of the renewals. So, sabbatical, yes. I'm I'm gonna say yes even to retire. If you can work out your health insurance through travel insurance, and there are a couple of other companies. There's one in particular that I'm thinking of. I'll try to link that you can get health care, or it's travel insurance, but it doesn't require you have like a return date. So if anybody's interested, just hit me up and I'll give you the resources that I found. But yes, you could absolutely do it. Sabbatical for $1,500 or less. Retire, I would say for me, I would feel more comfortable a little closer to $2,000 a month. But still, think about that. $2,000 a month in an island tropical paradise. Count me in. I want some. Transportation, I'm trying to think, is there anything else? Banking was easy. Transportation was reasonable. Food costs were reasonable. Oh, utilities. Utility price. Oh, we'll talk about utilities and, of course, how do you handle your cell phone and all that stuff. Utility prices. Hey, James. That's my buddy. James got me, put me on the map, y'all. And that's for real, for real. I got my first bump in subscribers over on James' page. That was way back before I was even monetized. James, I'm monetized now. Thank you for your help. He helped me get over, anybody who's doing YouTube, you hit a lull, you hit like this little plateau, and it's almost enough to make you want to give up. But don't give up. I'm telling you, just persevere, stick it out. And James kind of helped me over the hump. I got a nice little subscriber bump there and made some good friends too. And we still follow each other. So, yeah, thanks for stopping by, James. So what else can I tell you guys? Any questions? Do you all have any questions? Oh, I wanted to tell you about your SIM card. Okay. So this works the same way everywhere. Most people, like my phone has a dual SIM. I can keep my I can keep my US number, and there's a port, there's a little place in my phone for a physical SIM. So when you get to the airport, you can purchase a SIM card there. I generally don't, because at the airport they tend to be more expensive. I usually wait, and once I get into town and I link up with a local, I purchase a SIM card. I've never paid more than $15 for a SIM card, and generally that gives you 30 days of data. All you'll just have to check out the packages, but you definitely want to do that. I have T-Mobile. I was able to use my phone and my data for a while, but generally you don't want to do that because you could run the risk of, some funky charges on your bill. And I didn't want any of that. So as soon as I got there, the homestay where I stayed, at OES house, Nick, he hooked me up with a SIM card, y'all. I'm telling you, make friends, talk to these people, be nice, smile, because every step of the way, there was a friend, or I call them friends and family now, helping me. They were helping me. They looked out for me, y'all, in a way I just can't even tell you. So definitely do that. That way you can have data. You're definitely going to need data because you need that to run all of your apps, like your rideshare apps. I keep booking on my phone. Anything goes wrong, y'all, I used to do Airbnb. I don't fool with Airbnb anymore. I strictly go through booking.com now. Booking has worked for me. I don't know, they should give me an affiliate link too. But that works for me. And the more you book, the bigger your discounts get. I'm practically down to free rides back and forth to the airport, y'all. I booked so much My air, like the transportation, the ground transportation, every time I book, they give me a bigger discount on ground transportation. So, you know, get with it, y'all. Get your data, get your SIM card. Don't get it at the airport. I don't do anything at the airport. I don't get money at the airport. I try to land ready. I try to land with the currency that that country uses. I get hook up with a local person, whether it's somebody where I'm staying. I get a SIM card day one, day two, certainly, because you're going to need that to navigate. You're going to need it for your Google Maps because inevitably somebody's going to get lost. I get lost all the time, but now I don't worry. But you need that data, and you don't want to rely on your US data because anything can go wrong there. Yep, use all of that stuff. We need to do a whole nother live about using your how to travel hack, how to use your travel points, you all, because I am telling you, sign up. I know this is off track, but I think we covered everything. We talked about, was it anything else we needed? Let me look at my notes right quick, and then I'll make sure I don't leave anything off. I made extensive notes. Okay, so we talked about accommodations that I know for sure. You know, you all saw the villa where the monkey got in. That was the one that was $400 a night. Definitely worth it. If you know somebody who's honeymooning, oh my gosh, or a big anniversary, whatever. Yes, we need to do travel hacks. Um, that was worth it, y'all. I'm not gonna tell no story. $400, it was worth it. Would I do it again? No, I don't travel like that. Y'all know that was. I wanted to go because I wanted to see what a $400 room night looked like. What is this? What's this sorcery? Because that's just not the way I move. I want the nice room for less. And so all those other ones that I listed, you could stay there on a sabbatical for 30 days, 60 days, easy, any of those. Retirement, you're going to be looking for more of a permanent villa. And those are homestays too, but they tend to be bigger and they're more stable. And you can certainly secure those, any of those, for under $800 a month. Utilities, that's what we're going to talk about. The average cost of utilities are between $50 and $100 a month. That's all of your utilities. We talked about food and dining options. There's every healthy and the not so healthy. Y'all know I ate real good. I ate very good. There are all manners of food, fast food, street food, but I promise you, nice restaurants where I really, I didn't dress up, but I certainly didn't go in there with my flip flops on. I comb my hair and put on some earrings, those kind of restaurants. And I never paid tops $25. Let me tell you all this one. I told you Cora is Chora, and Copper. Mm, Copper. That is a restaurant in Ubud. Do go. I had the best, I can tell y'all, this is how come I couldn't lose no weight. I had the best sticky ribs. I don't know, I forgot what they called it. Balinese sticky ribs. It was so good. I'm just having a moment. It was so good. Mm. That entire meal, beautiful presentation, beautiful. I could see the mountain off in the distance, the birds, beautiful. I'm pretty sure I paid 16, $17 for that meal. So definitely food is reasonable. I ate out every meal, you all. I didn't cook at all when I was in Bali. I ate out every meal. And let me tell you all this. This is the truth. When I was staying at the private villa, because that wasn't in the center of Ubud, y'all, the food prices were so low. I felt bad. I was like, oh Lord, I'm cheating. I gotta be cheating somebody. I'm talking Indonesian food. I had delicious food, y'all. $10. $10 tops. You could eat well in Bali, and I mean this, for $15 a day. Easy. Easy, hands down, you can eat for $15 a day. And remember, I every place I stayed had breakfast, so I would always have breakfast, even though I'm not really a breakfast person. I ate the breakfast because it allowed me to just chill and coast till dinner time. And so basically, while I was in Bali, I was only buying one meal a day. And I'm talking about good food. I'm not talking about fast food, McDonald's. I'm not talking about I'm talking about a full course plated meal with a tablecloth. Please, Copper, check out Copper. Google it. Look at it. Check out the other one was Quora, Chora. And then there was another one that was right across the street from Quora. It was a little less formal. I'm talking about fresh oysters. Y'all, the oysters were 13,000. I'm going to tell you how much they were. I remember this because I was like, you got to be kidding me. The oysters were 13,000. Um, is it rupiah a piece? They were 86 cents a piece. Fresh oysters. I'm telling you, unbelievable. So food costs aren't going to break the bank. Transportation, they have ride share, their taxis. They even have buses in Bali too. I never took the bus, and it's very walkable. Most places I walked. Um, I rode the bike. I did everything. There, you can either get a Grab car or you can get a Grab motorbike. I did yes, you already know the Balinese. Look at Maryland, the Balinese sticky glazed pork ribs. That's it. And it was delicious. It was delicious. But at any rate, I digress. I never paid more than $7 ever to get anywhere. I even had to go to Dimpensar to do the renewal for my passport or for my visa. That cost me $12. Dimpensar is an hour away. It cost me $10 to get from the airport to Ubud. That was a 45-minute to an hour ride. $10. You can't beat it. But I was able to secure that because I had been booking all of my accommodations through booking.com. And every time I booked, they gave me a bigger discount on ground transportation. Get with it, y'all. Okay, healthcare is the sticky part. That was we're talking about, if you're doing a sabbatical, you don't really have to worry about it. You can get some travel insurance to cover you for 2 months, 3 months, however long you're out. If you're talking about retiring there, they don't have um, health insurance in place for expats. And some countries do. If you become a resident, like in Mexico, you can qualify for that insurance. So that's a big deal but I will tell you this, I did the research. I looked up prices. You all, I looked up dental prices. I looked up doctor's office visits. Trust me, you could pay out of pocket. Um, a teeth cleaning is like $26. You could get a full root canal, y'all, for $99. So, I mean, nobody wants to be sick. You don't want to ever be sick away from home. You don't want some, tragic accident or anything to happen. You don't want to be out there. Yes. Oh my goodness. Copper. I'm sorry, I'm in the chat too. Copper Kitchen Bar. And wait a minute, not only does Copper is the rooftop one, it's beautiful. But they have another hotel restaurant right down the street where the villa is at Bisma 8. I gotta stop and give this the respect that it's due, because I need to tell y'all the name of that restaurant, and I'm telling you why. They have a garden right there. It's an open air restaurant. This happened to me. I ordered a salad. The man, um, yeah, Cora is the other one. But Marilyn, can you find the other restaurant? It's at Bisma 8 Villas. It's right down the street, and I can't call the name of it. But They have a fresh garden. So anyway, I order a salad, y'all. The man comes from behind the kitchen counter and goes to the garden and picks the vegetables and stuff for my salad. I said, well, now that's farm to table. Not only that, the lady told me, she said, Sandra, in the morning, if you want a green smoothie, a green shake, you come to the garden and pick the stuff you want in your, that was the $400 a night though. That's why it's $400 a night. You, yes. Oh, okay, Kathy. I can list that for you. I have that retiring in Bali. I'll get to it. Okay. And I'll give you what I know about that because I'm not so sure about the financial requirement, but I can look it up for you. But at any rate, back to it. You at Bisma 8 Villas, they will, you can pick your own vegetables, y'all. You can pick your own stuff, put it in your smoothie. They make it right there for you on the spot. I'm just saying, Bali's a whole vibe. Get with it. Sabbatical, yes. Retirement, yes. I say with a few caveats. And so let me pull up the visa requirements, Kathy, because I had that. Okay, let me get to it. I got 35 tabs open over here. Okay, y'all talk amongst yourselves. But Kathy, as I recall, it wasn't something ridiculous because I was like, oh, I could do this. Okay, it's called KITAS, KITAS, retirement KITAS, KITAS. And then I'm going to tell you what the requirements are. Okay, retiring in Bali. Okay, it takes about 3 months to process. Let me see. I'm looking it up right now, Kathy, because I lost my page. What are the requirements? Okay. Okay, for the retirement visa, your passport must be at least 18 months valid. You have to have at least 6 pages. You have to be 55 or older. You have to have at least $18,000 in your savings account. You have to have, again, like we said, you have to have your own health insurance. I think that's the part for most people. You have to have your own international health and life insurance. You have to have a lease agreement for 1 year with whoever, trust me, that's the easy part. And and be willing to, this one, this is a little, but this will happen anyway, to employ at least 2 Indonesian workers, like a cook, a cleaning person, a gardener, or whatever. Most of us have housekeepers. I mean, that's par for the course. And you may even have a driver or something like that. But that's some of the stuff that you'll need. And let me tell you who, of course, US citizens are eligible to retire in Bali. Can you work on a retirement visa? Hold tight. Unfortunately, you cannot work, so you got to be done with work. Do you have to go to the immigration office? No, for the application process, you can apply online while you're outside of the US. I mean, while you're outside of Indonesia. So you have to apply in your home country. Can you bring your family? Generally speaking, okay. So if you're retired, generally speaking, I'm reading this one directly because I didn't even ask about this. I don't know many retired people that still have children. So I don't know if you can bring your kids on a retirement visa, but you and a spouse certainly both can apply, and it should be easy. Hey, living my dream. You snuck in the chat. Hey. And I think that's it. How do I pay? You can pay in USD. Yep. That's not a problem. Kathy, I'll link this site that I'm reading from. It's Bali.com. Y'all, anybody can go there. Bali.com and backslash retirement. And so the requirements aren't that strenuous. I'm going to talk, let me go to the financial part. I want to make sure that we get that. Okay, retirement. Okay, let me go to prices. Yeah, what are the requirements? I'll go through it one more time. Have 18 months valid left on your passport, 6 pages, 55 or older. Have at least 18,000 USD in a savings account. Have your own international health and life insurance. And you have to have a lease agreement with somebody in Bali for at least a year and be willing to employ 2 domestic workers. That means you would have a housekeeper or maybe a gardener. And to be honest with you all, most people do. Most people do have a housekeeper when we're living abroad because it's so reasonable. You guys, listen. Okay, I'm going to switch gears. I'm here now in Thailand. You all, the cleaning person comes once a week. They change the sheets, the towel. They do the whole fool. They replenish the tissue, the water, everything, y'all. It costs, I want to say, it's like $15 a week. I know. It is so very reasonable. I almost want to whisper it. It's like $15 a week to have somebody come and I mean they clean. It's amazing. It's a good life. It's a good life. So I don't know. Did anybody have any other questions about taking a sabbatical in Bali or retiring in Bali? If I had to say on a scale, I'm 10 out of 10 for sabbatical. The retirement, I don't know. There are a couple things that gave me just a little pause. And one is rainy season. Y'all, they really do have a rainy season. I don't know that I could see myself living in Bali 12 months out of the year. I could definitely see 6 months for sure. If you could live through rainy season or maybe just when it's rainy season, because I think it lasts maybe a month or two. If you could just go maybe to Europe and chill while rainy season is happening, then it's a go. But money would not be a reason that you couldn't sabbatical or retire in Bali. The cost of living is certainly manageable. The quality of life is certainly appealing. It is definitely a place you go to heal, and it's just beautiful. It's kind of hard to have a bad day when everything around you is beautiful. And the Balinese people, wait a minute. People say this, y'all. Look, I spent a whole year and a half in Mexico, and people say that the people in Mexico are warm and friendly, and they are. But if you think they're warm and friendly, get you some Balinese friends. I had great friends in Mexico, but Balinese people take it to a whole nother level. I'm talking about a whole nother level if you make the connection, if you make the connection with them. Because they're private people too. They will absolutely leave you alone. But if you extend yourself, I can't tell you all, I've been to 3 private homes. I wasn't there but 2 months. I mean, everybody, they'll take you to their house, they'll feed you, they will make sure that you're okay. And as a solo traveler, I need that level of accountability. I need that. I feel much more comfortable knowing that if I get sick, it happened to me in Mexico. And Mexican people are warm and friendly, y'all, because I did get sick in Mexico. And the host came to the house where I was, went in the garden, picked these herbs, and made me whatever it was she made me and made me well. That happened. You want that. You want people looking out for you because you can get sick. You can lose your ATM card. You can get lost, and you want someone who has a vested interest in your well-being. So Please, if you haven't checked out that video, I did a video, traveling. Do you need new friends? Yes. The answer is yes, you do. But watch that video. It goes into why and some of the benefits and how to go about making friends. And you want to be cautious. Not just everybody is your friend. But I like to start with where I'm staying, especially if they're registered on sites like booking.com. These people have been in business for years. They do not have time to scam folks. That's not it. So you want to be particular about who you're befriending. You don't want to befriend somebody at the club and be like, this is my friend, she looking out for me. Not that. But certainly where you stay, you can start there. That's what I would say. And y'all, that takes us right up to an hour. I'm trying to think, did I miss anything? I'm going to roll back through my notes. We talked about pricing, dental prices, doctor's visits. You all, where am I? Okay, I'm trying to see. Oh, renting a scooter. We talked about transportation, but you can also rent a scooter. I want to say it was about $50, $100 a month, or you could just flat out buy a scooter for under $1,500. If you want a really nice scooter, about $2,000. And then when you leave, you sell it. Everybody does that. They either buy the scooter, especially if you buy them on their way out. Americans do it all the time, or expats do it all the time. They sell the scooter to somebody else who's coming to town. I was trying to see. Um, but all the prices and stuff are listed, all the prices that I could come up with are listed in the description box along with the link to Numbeo. And y'all get familiar with Numbeo because Numbeo keeps that data for all major cities. Um, so if you're thinking of relocating to a city, run it through Numbeo. It will give you like housing costs, the average cost, and then it'll give you a range as well. So, my final thoughts, sis, brothers and sisters, get to Bali. Get to Bali for a vacation. Get to Bali for a sabbatical. If you are so inclined to be in a tropical paradise, I would say it's a very viable retirement location. Keep in mind there's rainy season and you have to provide your own health care. At this point, they don't provide any kind of health care for expats. And the time zone change. If you're still trying to work, that's why it doesn't work for me. Bali was great for my psyche, it was great for my body, it was great for all of that. But I can't that the internet, not having the strongest internet connection, there were just some things that made it a great place for me to be for 3 months, 6 months, but I can't see myself there for the whole year. But if that's not important to you, if you don't need internet, it's a perfect place. It's certainly a beautiful island paradise with cities, coastal towns, beach towns, you name it, an international airport. Bali has it all. And you can afford it. You can afford to live there at least 6 months out of the year. All right, folks, full resources located down in the description box. If you need anything, if you have any questions, please feel free. Girl, catch the replay. We're here. Don't worry about it. If you have any questions, reach out to me. I'm more than happy. Email me at fromlack2legacy@gmail.com. And don't forget, for my trading friends, wait a minute, living my dream. Did you catch some of that NVIDIA money? I did. I caught NVIDIA going up and down. Hi. Hey, Dr. Virginia. Nice having you. I'm glad you caught us. But my email is from lack2legacy@gmail.com. If you want to join us this Wednesday, we're paper trading. We aren't even talking to one another. Everybody's going to paper trade. Hey, Dr. Linda. That's my other travel sister. And we're in an accountability group together. You guys, hit me up. I'm here. I want to see us win. I want to see us traveling all over the world, living lives of ease. and just enjoying the fruits of our labor. If it's anything I can do to help, you all know you got me. Just hit me up from lactolegacy@gmail.com. I will send you the link to our Wednesday Zoom session if you're interested in paper trading with us. I'm telling y'all, let's go get this money. NVIDIA acted up this week, and I cashed in on the up and the down. So that's it for tonight, y'all. I'm going to bed. I didn't even open my bottle of wine. I'm going to open this bottle of wine as soon as I hit this end button. All right, my sister Marilyn, thank you. Marilyn is the glue, y'all. Marilyn is the glue. Thank you, sister, for helping with all the resources in the chat. If you missed anything, you guys, all the places that I stayed are at the very top of the chat. They're all on booking.com too. And I would definitely, there wasn't one in the bunch there wasn't one place I stayed that I would not recommend that you stay. Thank you all for joining me as always. I love you, fam. I'll talk to you all soon. Bye, Shauna. Bye, Kathy. Bye, Marilyn. Bye, loves. I'll talk to y'all on Wednesday. Bye bye.